This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
And a very warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry Weekend Podcast, where we aim to give you lots of winners, lots of profit, just like we did last week at York for a change. Myself, John, Andy Richmond, etc., all in form. The Londoner Davis let us down last week. No surprise there from Davis. Terrible show. But this week, it's a lightened cast this week. We were due to have four, but Neville was unable to make today's show due to a late issue. So basically, it is me, John Lang, and Quentin Franks. Good evening, chaps.
Good evening, Lee.
Yes. Yeah, and hopefully we can carry on where we left off last week. I know for a fact that I'm very strong on three of mine. They're a bit bloggery prices, but there we go. We shall set the round off going now. Then this is where we go the three best bets, and then we'll discuss the telebox racing afterwards. So on this weekend, where we have Beverley, Goodwood, Newmarket July course, terrible. All that water he's put on. Soft ground, soft. You can tell the courses that have been watering heavily all summer. Goodwood soft, Newmarket soft. In the middle of a drought. Third best bets time. John, I'm coming to you for your third best.
Probably best to start with the dross, really. My third best bet goes in the 4:54 at Beverley. And this is probably one of the worst races to grace a pretty mediocre racing calendar this year anyway. Minoir looks very, very good here, given how the race is likely to pan out. There's only 7 runners, 0 competition on the front end over this ideal trip to make all round here. This horse was rated 93 in June, it's now down to 77. Obviously the horse hasn't come close to it in its racing, but it's shown probably enough to suggest it can get these in trouble turning in with a soft lead off this mark. 1 point win. Thank you.
1 point win, 4-1 generally available. Not with Denise Coates this time. It's 11-4 with Denise. It's disappointing for John. He likes betting with her.
I've gone off Denise a bit, actually. I think she was just a fad.
4-1 across the board, right across the board for John there. So hopefully Minwar can get John off to a flyer for the weekend. Cheers, John. Minwar, Ben Curtis in the saddle. Quentin, coming to you for your third best.
My third best bet, Lee, comes in the 15.50 at Newmarket. I go. Best trainer in the UK, David Simcock. I know it's a Newmarket, but Trillia's too well handicapped to ignore here. It's 4-1 with Denise, which is always nice. First start for the yard, one that took my eye as a 3-year-old, and physically you're just going to keep progressing as a 4-year-old. Smart time on the clock last time out, despite steady enough fractions. Form looks strong. See on time winning since Atlantis, winning since, and matched that came 5th in that race for Rafe Ralph. That won in a good time at Lingfield the other day. Easier ground should suit here. Obviously, there are cool stouts, hence why it's only 1 point. But it should be a decent pace if they help to hold him up, given I think they'll gun the Harney from the front, but he looked mulish of late, to be honest. Soapy Stevens is in the field as well, so hopefully at least an even tempo. Triple suit, 1 point win, 4-1.
Good stuff, yeah. 4-1 generally available. Trailer. Will Quentin get Simcock? What a duo that is for the old Newmarket July course. Having said that, it's a good. I agree with Quentin. I think the ground could really bring a lot of improvement. So Quentin, you think this gelding is going to be really smart? Obviously,
yeah.
If you're saying handicapped off 90, you're saying this could be sort of probably listed.
Borderline listed. Yeah.
Interesting. Good stuff for Quentin. So, folks, 4-1 there for Quentin with his first bet, Simcock and Spencer. Interesting combo. I like them at Doncaster, Ascot and Yarmouth of the system says. Yes. Anyway, good luck to Quentin with that one. My third best bet goes at the Lurkle, John.
I'm attending tomorrow as well.
Are you going there tomorrow night? Well, that's it. Yeah,
I'm going there. Paddock watch. If you're going to be sat there all night.
Yes. A very good bet, really. Is in the, if you can take advantage of the prices, is in the 720 there, and it's Grant Chua's Dream Casing, which is 4-1 with Denise. Ran today, and it had, well, I'm not going to criticise young jockeys because she's not had many rides. It's the trainer's daughter. Anna Chua wouldn't be like fully, sort of like accomplished as a rider. She's learning a trade. She's not there yet. Obviously, he ran okay third today, but probably would have won with stronger assistance. Sam James takes it back over tomorrow. A very well handicapped horse is Dream Casing. Cannot be anywhere near 4-1. So that's where I'm going to kick off with a point win, John, at the Lurkle. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're very cool tonight, but second best bets.
Okay, so that's round one complete. Second best bet then, John.
Guess where this is running?
720 at the Lurkle.
Bingo!
Okay.
Grant Chua can be relied upon to roll to mock races when there's hardly a decent yard lining up against him.
Yeah.
And when I had a look at this race, really, standards-wise, I sort of likened it to a really bad porno. Anne Widdicombe's washers broke down.
Oh.
There's a knock at the door, and it's Rees Mogg in dungarees with a span. That's the level of race we're talking about here, I think.
Yeah.
And the penultimate run from the house, missed the kick at the bridge, completely excusable. Everything you said about today's run I'd agree with. It's just going to be a nice blowout for us. You wouldn't see Anna Chua turning the house inside out and making him unfit for tomorrow. I liked the first run when he was second of 20, beating only a length, kept on really well there. And this race isn't a patch on that one, 2 points win.
Yeah, and the low draw to boot, which has obviously been quite suitable on recent meetings. Yeah, absolutely. So point at 4-1 for John. So it's a KLAXON. We have a KLAXON again. We're having too many KLAXONs. Foghorn last week, which won at Solco, and now the KLAXON. We had a KLAXON for Hamake, me and Quentin, I think the week before, and now it's Dream Casing. KLAXON again for the bar stewards. So that's it. Get your bets out and get going. Yeah, Dream Casing, good bet. Quentin, coming to you for your second best.
My second best bet, Lee, comes in the Prestige, top of the market, Fairy Cross, 5-2 at the moment. Just, it doesn't really look a deep race here, to be honest. Of those that have experience, well, she looks head and shoulders above these. The ground's going to suit as well. The Dam Devonshire listed winner on soft ground, Group 2 winner on soft ground, moves like a soft ground horse. Bumped into Mark Johnston's, I can't remember the name of it, the Cracksman filly. Did well to pull clear at Sandown in a decent enough time. There's not much not to like. We'll go forward from a middle draw. The Hughesworth Candle of Hope, I think John said, another one of the queens that kind of moody. The head went up at the finish there last time out. Bright Diamond, decent back-end sectionals, but was hard-pressed to win at Newmarket, and the time, even factoring the sectionals, was modest enough. Bet me, I just don't like as a type at all. Very ordinary, plain sort of filly. And Modest Font, the Sweet Solera Stakes, doesn't look all that at all. I had her closer to 6-4, and 5-2's on offer. That'll do for me. 2 points win.
Yeah, absolutely agreed with all of that, because we've got a double KLAXON. 2 points win, Fairy Cross, 150 Goodwood, the Prestige, for the same reasons as Quentin's just mentioned. Bright Diamond, I felt, was a potential threat. However, for exactly the same reasons, Quentin, I analysed the sectionals late on of that win. I compared it with something like Victory Dance that run on the same course on slightly slower ground. And Victory Dance looks a far superior horse. If that's the case, then Fairy Cross, officially rated 103. The Sandown form's very, very strong indeed. And Fairy Cross did enough wrong there. She was a little bit free down the hill. It didn't quite if you backed her, you'd be thinking, settle down. And she just ran off a bit down the hill, and I think she paid for that later on. Like Quentin says about the ground, if there's any soft left in it by tomorrow, it's fine. Jabawi, fast company mare, Damsire, obviously Devonshire, like Quentin says. Nothing to add other than that it's a second klaxon. Round 2 complete, 2 klaxons already. Tremendous. This is.
We should point out at this point that we don't compare notes before we record these shows.
No, nothing. So,
just in fact, our 2 new listeners. Just in case either of them was wondering.
Oh yeah. No comparisons. And the thing is, I think we went about 3 months without a klaxon. Until recently, and it just seems to be getting klaxon and foghorn silly. So yeah, I agree with Quentin also about price. I think it's a 6-4 chance Fairy Cross. I don't understand why it was put at 3-1. I think first thing. And
we're going klaxon-tastic, aren't we?
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, this is we're into trick. We could be into tricksy klaxons when we do the last round. Okay, then I'll tell you what. Then I'll kick us off for the last round and see if we get any giggles. Okay, this is my best bet of the weekend. I'm extremely confident on this horse. 205 Beverley Silver Cup Post Impressionist, rated 88. The race it ran in at Chester last time was unsuitable. It was. I was quite bemused why the shirt ran there. Maybe there's a purpose. I've no idea. But it was a messy race. It popped out. He kind of just. They were going slowly. It just didn't suit. You can draw a line through it. You can draw a line through Ascot. If you look at this horse's form, this is 100 horse. Without, I've no doubt whatsoever. It's probably one of the real better handicapped horses in training. Second to Eldar off at Newcastle. Again, not quite getting the pace that it needs. And it doesn't matter. It finished a short head in front of Honiton. Honiton's now rated 94 and giving it 7 as well to boot. And every form line points to this horse being very useful. When it beat Western Stars at Ayr, could not have been more impressive. Really impressive performance. I know it was 3s on, but Western Stars has since bolted up off 77. I mean, that's now rated 82. So 88 for Post Impressionist. What a very well handicapped horse this is. I think it's 100. I'm certain it's 100. That's my bet. And it's the shirt. The shirt did us a favour last week with Solcombe, and just a brilliant trainer. And I reckon that this has probably been its target since Chester. And Tongue Tie for the first time doesn't put me off because he's got a good record with that. He did it with Solcombe last week. I don't think that's an issue for anyone to worry about with the old Tongue Tie for the first time. So 3 points win, 5-2, get on. Quentin, coming to you.
I think inside rail at Chester that day I think that's where it started to play dead as well, which didn't help.
Yes.
And
yes,
I think it was after the Ascot run, we were all on like the evening preview post Ascot, whatever it is, and we said we're surprised if they leave him off 89, and said he's probably 100 horse, and yeah, just looks seriously well handicapped horse against not too much in all honesty. My one, 3 points win in the 13:35 at Newmarket. Dance Acclaim. Eve Johnson Horton trained acclamation colt. Took the eye on debut in a race that I thought would work out well. Really decent looker. Penny started to drop late doors, and the race did work out well. Out of the race, you had horses like Royal Scotsman come out and win Rebel Redemption Time. Wallbank and obviously Noble Style. Trip didn't look like it suited that day. Concern is the time off the track, but up to 6 furlongs. Dams related to several soft ground winners. I suspect it will still be good to soft slightly tomorrow. Just looks like he's going to take a large step forward. Favourite in the race, 5-4, Roger Varian horse. I'm not particularly keen on. Time was modest and on the right part of the track at Haydock. Ground should probably suit, but Dance Acclaim's grossly overpriced at 9-1 in my opinion. 3 points win, 9-1.
Bang. Yeah, indeed. Like you say, very, very strong maiden was the Ascot race. Obviously, Noble Style coming out with the Gimcrack. A very strong Gimcrack as it was as well. Royal Scotsman in 4. Like I say, the form fantastic. So Quentin plumping for Eve, who's certainly no stranger to training good horses. And I wish him well there at 9. This could be a really good nap, that Quentin. 3 points win there. John, last but not least.
Probably his least, but we'll give it a pot anyway. This one's in the 5:34 at Windsor. And this is a bit of an old project of mine. Huddlestone Mac of Huey Morrison's. Now, this horse, he just could not get right last year. And he seemed to be a little bit gone in the head as well. So you'd probably think, leave well alone until he shows something. Well, I was rather encouraged to see he'd been gelded over the winter and given time to get over it. As with most of the best laid plans, on his belated debut, the bloody saddle slipped. And all control, well, as much control as George Ruck would have, was lost. Now, he's had Tom Marquand built for this for a while, and this is running off a derisory rating here of 80. This horse went off favourite at York last year off 88. He can win this as a starting point for getting back on track. There's no need for these people that will keep this going. There's obviously a key to him. I think the shorter trip will probably help him settle as well, as the pace should be quite strong. And he's probably misguidedly a fairly confident 3-point now.
Yeah, it's an interesting runner because I had a good bet on this last time.
You and me both.
Yeah, decent prices in the morning. Obviously, you look back and the form with Mabadra, you know, when it chased that down when it was second at Kempton, decent form. That's since won off 89, now rated 93. Yeah, there's nothing really not to like about Huddleton Mac rating. Are we all sort of okay with the ground? If it's on, Windsor said soft, are we okay with that?
I don't think a print will hurt him at all, especially at this trip.
Yeah, Quentin, what do you think about the ground, etc.? Okay.
I backed him last time out just because the all-weather figures he had put up and that form working out. So I haven't looked at Windsor yet. It's last on the list of things to do today, to be honest.
Yeah, know what you're saying. But yeah, that's an interesting selection, John. Are you 3 points on the nose?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, 10s. It is an interesting runner. Like I said, I had a really good bet on this last time, and the saddle slipped, actually. Has it reported that in the Racing Post?
I didn't know whether the Post had reported it. I mentioned it because it was absolutely obvious it had slipped when I looked at the race.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, Racing Post reported. So, yeah, I knew it had.
Druck's toes were nearly in its ears. So.
Yeah. It was quite funny, that race, actually, because I told my mate as well to have a real good bet on it, and straight away after the race, he messaged me and went, "Total non-buzzer, that total non-buzzer." And I said, "The saddle, I think the saddle stuff. You know what they like. You know when you give one of your friends a tip, and it's like that went off. You know, it was a genuine reason for excuse. Interesting run of that, John. Real,
I've stopped tipping horses to friends now. I just tip them on here to people I don't give a monkey's about.
Indeed, on the podcast, it's not totally shit. Speaking of which, totally shit, is that the Ginger Hitler going to the Lurkle on tomorrow night?
No, he's cried off, sadly.
What a disappointing man he is. Extremely disappointing man, the Ginger Hitler. So no Ginger.
Staying in the bunker.
Yeah. Are you taking a guess tomorrow night?
I am, yes.
Is it the steak and oysters? Guess.
This makes me sound like a terrible Lothario, but no, it's a different one.
Fair play. We'll get the story for that and the exclusives on the sermon on Sunday. Don't miss on that. Right.
Well, she's a mucky little get, this one. So.
Oh, dear. Yeah, don't forget to tune in then on Sunday.
Very
right. Yeah, Saturdays. I just thinking. The problem is me. I think in pictures a lot of the time. So yeah, it's yeah. Anyway,
you know.
Right, we've got Beverley, Goodwood, Newmarket. Well, one race at Newmarket on the telly. So we'll go through them now. We'll start with Beverley. It's not the best of Saturdays, as we know, but we've managed to dig up some good bets, I think. There's some really good bets there, Quentin, John, and 2 KLAXONs. What more do you want? 1:30 Beverley, Outrun the Storm, 11-4, Fav. I thought this race was priced up pretty good, actually. That was my take on it. Not much interest in the race, exposed handicappers. Thoughts, chaps?
I thought Outrun the Storm would probably make the run in and be hard to beat, really.
Okay, right. Okay, so John, yes. I mean,
He's been handy enough, and Oshino seems to be getting the hang of these northern tracks rather quick and getting on top of things, doesn't he?
he's a good pilot.
Yeah,
He's
the initiative here, and I don't feel particularly compelled about the horse at 11-4. I think the price is right. But I think there's some right disappointing bastards in this as well.
Yeah, I mean, like Majestic for me is like the second favourite of Mick Shannon's. Is the mark's about right. It went up £3 for beating nothing because the Agasaur showed nothing at Pontefract. So I don't see any edge in the mark of Mick Shannon's.
I mean, you tend to want £11 up your sleeve when it says Shannon near the trainer's.
Well, you do. But he's. I had a big bet on one at Foss last today and did my brains. And Shannon had the winner, the easy winner as well. Very impressive. It was a bit unexposed.
You can have winners. It's just never when you back him.
Yeah, no. Quentin, thoughts on this?
Looks to be a decent amount of pace on, outrun the storm and antagonise will probably go forward. It's highly unlikely I'll have a bet. To be honest, I'm not sure why the race is on, was it not Channel 4, ITV? If someone was scratching around for a bet to have the reason in the race, maybe Elder Bar. Looks like a similar sort of setup to last time out. Johnny Pate on top again. Gone up free for a win. Course and distance form. Time looked fine. Draw in 8 shouldn't be an issue, but that would be kind of clutching at straws in all honesty.
John, will you get a word with Jeff Archer? Maybe. No, that's at Beverley, isn't it? You're not going to word with you. I'm thinking. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. I've got Redcar on my mind now. You've mentioned that you're taking a guest along.
I can throw some light on why Beverley's on ITV tomorrow. It's basically to give them somewhere to send Leona in a way. And Megan will be down at Goodwood with the champagne and Pims, and Leona will be fighting for half an horseman in the main a little bug.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is sermon stuff, but did you see that letter that Leona got sent today?
Yeah, I did actually tweet her back, actually. I said, well, on the plus side, at least it's legible, and he hasn't written it in the blood of one of his pet pigeons.
I'm going to say it's like then you'd start to like, or it's like them newspaper cuttings one,
yeah.
All different letters and different colours and shit.
Yeah, when they used to cut things out of newspapers and stick them on a piece of A4 and like, with some really weird.
Proper queer bastards, them, aren't they? They never get their hands on you. They're going to gut you like a mackerel, aren't they?
Oh, it's all very Clint Eastwood stuff, this. Anyway.
Do we get any of them in the mailbox, or is it all just...
No, we just get that daft... remember that Leslie Allinson?
Yeah.
It's him that... he just, like, spams the YouTube, and he just calls us all fanny betters. He's got a point. Especially,
he's a fanny batter when it comes to his sister, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, this is it. He's there's some strange folk out there. Poor Leona there, getting some stick there with a letter. Go on a Twitter feed and you can it's barely legible. Is the letter? It's you can't. It's not even well worded. Nothing in it.
I could read it all right. I wonder if it's somebody I know. Maybe I recognise the writing. That's how I can read it.
Be somebody from your way, John.
Maybe Hitler.
Yeah, especially if he's betting her tips and stuff. Yeah, and they've had a downer. Anyway, 205. I've got to sit this one out, and Quentin's going to sit it out, John, because I think he agrees with me, Quentin, to a degree. Do you agree with me, Quentin? First impression?
Couldn't have put it better myself. Well handicapped horse. I don't think the ground's going to suit weight to excel as well. He looks very much a top of the ground horse. I'm sure it's a drying day, but should be sub 2-1 easily. This post impressionist.
Yeah, that's what I think. John?
Tongue tie going on. I think really probably betting on Stevie Donahoe not making a monkey of himself, aren't you, really?
Yeah, I think the shirts had this.
Chance.
I think the shirts had this picked out. And the thing is, Weight to Excel's like gone up heavily in the weights. Kitsune Power, it ran perfectly well last time, but again, it's now getting to a mark where you're thinking this is now about right. Whereas there's nothing.
One's a bit shady, isn't it, for that now?
Yeah, there's nothing in this race that's actually well handicapped, barring first impression. So as long as we don't get a farce of a race, I think we're bouncing on that one. The Beverley Bullet, John Mondomedge is out again.
Yeah. Now we did have a brief discussion about this last night, didn't we? And, what was it you said about the horse?
Yeah, I said you can see the horse sort of like travelling well with like a Berlin Wall in front of it, with about a furlong to run. I mean,
it doesn't look good for the lad, does it? Really?
No, but this is this? It's 10 days off, isn't it? I think it's 10
days off. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get 3 into him before the Parkland, can't you?
Yeah. The Portland, that's it. We were just waiting for the Portland, I think, to have a little go, But yeah, I feel sorry for that poor horse.
And we got Norman there doing the paddock for the Portland. You might get a text saying a fucking skeleton's just walked in.
No condition. No. He said,
Hollow horses attended the parade.
I know. I don't think I've ever. To be honest, can you remember many horses rated so high, campaigned so heavily,
aggressively?
I can't. I don't think I can. I don't think I can remember a triple figure horse that's been
Johnston's
campaigned.
got to have one.
Which one?
Johnston's surely got to have one that's been campaigned similarly.
I mean that's
the only one I can remember thinking possibly Grey Desire. Acorns and trees, for instance.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what do we think to this?
Well, late Monday match, probably. No, do not lay them on the bench. 14-1. No.
Yeah.
Egg on face, tipping a 1 to 14 poke. No, do not.
Yeah.
There seems to be a few older horses here. I think King of Stars has been running well. Yeah, I could probably rock along with that one because I think that will go handy and probably hit his mark, and that might be all it takes here.
That's going to go blast off, isn't it, King of Stars? Yeah, but yeah, I have no opinion at all. Friend of the show, Stuart Williams. I thought Existence running quite well, and bearing in mind that Stuart's been in the doldrums all summer, and he's took a recent sort of upturn in terms of form. I thought Existence, it wasn't disgracing the King George, just in the wrong place really.
He's finally put his appearance on our show behind him, hasn't he? And
he has, yeah. That affected him mentally. It affected the entire operation. He thought, "What the fuck is this?"
It ruined his life for a time, didn't it?
He did. It took him a while to sort of find his stride, but I think now there's been enough time since his appearance on the show, and it's now showing.
We'll have to get him back on.
Yeah.
Fucking
So Existent for me, I thought, again, similar problems to Mondomage, though, older post, but beyond the inside at least, waiting for a gap. I thought that'd be my choice. Quentin?
I'd rock in with John Shout, to be honest. King of Stars liked the run at York, ended up on the wrong part of the track, more stand side and then drifting across. There's not stacks and stacks of pace in the race. Should conceivably get a solo with looking at the pace map. Corker's taking a chunk of the market. Beverley's not a track you want to be behind in. He's obviously got the form to figure, but the slow starts seem to be getting worse and worse. Probably have a little place lay on Corker near the off, and a small win bet on King of Stars.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, good comments. We've already touched this, but can we believe that they've put the scrap on at Beverley? They must have got. There must be some kind of thing. £100,000 sales race at Newmarket. Just give that the old swerve. That's on at 2:45. And Newmarket. I mean, maybe they've had enough of Prosser's watering, like we all have.
Well, they need the wide angle lens at Newmarket, don't they? Because they're spread all over the fucking track.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they should. Maybe that's broke.
To Telegraph.
Yeah, it might have broke, John. They can't get a replacement, so they put Beverley on this week.
Maybe they want to leave Leona up north as well. Don't want to bring her down south and getting any ideas, do they?
No, absolutely. Okay, 3:15, the Hopeful Stakes. This is where hope enters the building for many and disappears. Golf Club, are you listening? He's back to pot noodles for you this week. 3:15, Great Ambassador, 100 to 35. And what we saying for this race, chaps?
It's so soft for
Yeah. Will it run?
I think they'll run it. He's got a heavy ground win, hasn't he? But they're kind of scratching around for places, not places to run. But it doesn't look a deep listed race. In all honesty, you've got a few with question marks over the head. You've got the Chrisford thing coming off a break. Mosielta, will it be soft enough near the off to bead again ground? In my opinion, I thought the bet in the race. What was the dream? Decent form, won the clock. I know it's by Brazen Bow, but has strong, easy ground form. I thought that was slightly overpriced with the pieces on for the first time.
Yeah, the one horse I can't have going on the ground, just on action and everything it does, is Manakan. I don't think that'll ever handle any juice whatsoever. It's just with the action, everything it's got. It's obviously by Exceeding Excel, but there's no way Manakan for me can handle like juice in the ground. So I'd be massively against that. Especially if it's sort of single figures. So that's my 1 to 8, 1 to 9 lay, John.
Well, fair enough. I actually think there's a massively overpriced horse in this race, and it nearly made me final 3, actually. And that's James Horton's Sam Maximus.
All right.
This hasn't been getting breaking too far, when maybe not having the best of runs in races he probably couldn't win, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it ran at Ascot behind Perfect Power, was 100 to 1 poke, finished mid-failed, breaking 7 lengths. It was only probably about £7 off it in its mark at the time. I did run it to 98, rated 101 now. I know the ratings are insignificant, they were many conditions race, but I think this one, if you go back, the last time this ran on soft at Deauville, ran in a Group 3, was beaten a length by Have a Good Day. The cheek pieces will help, because he probably could deal with his knackers off, to be fair, but they probably won't do that till the winter. I think getting his toe-in's not a bad thing for this horse, out with an acclamation mare. This could run well at a big price for me. James Horton's in fantastic form. Yeah,
brilliant trainer. We touched upon this last week. John, you know him well. Sir Michael Stout's former assistant, and a pony, 25 to 1, Sam Maximus. It's a good shout, John. Make a perfectly good case. Okay, we'll move on to Goodwood. No one wants to move on to Goodwood, do they?
Fiona would if she had chance.
Yeah, it's Megan Nichols will get that's it. The Pimm's tent with Megan Nichols tomorrow. I would imagine.
She'll be doing the paddock from the Pimm's tent, won't she?
Well, I don't. Yeah, as long as you're not talking about betting on ITV, they don't like that.
No.
The 150 and the Prestige. Me and Quentin's already klaxoned. You know, we like the scene in Planes, Trains, Automobiles, John, where they go into the motel. John Candy and Steve Martin, and we're all in. Yeah.
Isn't it a good race to start a card off this when you think they've got the March Stakes there in memory of John Dunlop, and it probably does justice to John Dunlop, really.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever tried to buy a horse off John Dunlop?
No.
I have not.
No.
Well, not that you can now, but I wouldn't recommend it.
No. Any reasons or?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I rung him up one Sunday, which was probably a mistake anyway. Peter Monteith, good friend of mine who used to train in Scotland, was after buying 3 of those horses that used to run the red and yellow colours. You know that Mark Quest.
Windflower Holdings.
Yeah, the Spanish grandee ran the syndicate, didn't she? He said, ring up and say how much he wants for these. So I rang up and, I mean, basically he told me I had a fucking cheek for ringing up and told me to piss off without even asking me what was on offer. So, I mean, is that doing the best for your owners? I could have been offering 100 grand a piece, you know.
It sounds to me, John, when he was alive and trading, he went down with you like the kilt does.
You know, I think I probably just shared the kilt there in the popularity stakes. Yeah, I mean, as I say, I could have been offering 100 grand a horse, and he didn't want to know. Literally, I probably had 15 grand to spend on the three.
He wouldn't have liked that.
We never got that far, but
no.
When I recount the story now, obviously there was 300 grand on the table.
Yeah. Right, 150 then. Do you agree with me and Quentin on Fairy Cross, or are we of something different?
Well, I was going to tip greedy, but no, I wasn't. Yeah, yeah. I think she'll beat these.
Yeah. So unanimous Fairy Cross. 225. Orban is favourite for another boring 7 furlongs handicap. Again, I looked at this and thought, yeah, there's one or two that interest me, maybe at prices, but I just struggle to get excited about the race, chaps.
These are just rotten, aren't they? You know, I mean...
Rotten. 99, 106. You sound like it's not the red car race. 101 Ross Collin. Come on, John. They're not rotten, surely.
No, I mean, just the concept of 7 furlongs at Goodwood's rotten.
Exactly, yeah. Inside draws, though, a bit draw bias, John. You should be all over this. Inside draw bias. Get first to the bend. If the ground's softer and they're coming towards the stand side, you get first dibs. First dibs at the rail.
I'll be waxing my spats ready to attend the Lurkle, thanks.
Yeah, time to let the dog in for the 225. Quentin, any view here?
Yeah, it was actually a race that interests me. Roscollin was nearly made I think it's nearly my third best bet. Just looks an ideal sort of setup for it. It's £15 better off with Orban for the Goodwood run. No pace in the race, soft ground form, low draw. But by that stage tomorrow, I think they'll be avoiding I think he's got the perfect draw for that. I made him shorter than he was, but he's now generally 5s across the board, and he was 7s 15-2 earlier in the day, and I thought he was a decent bet at them prices. Maybe 6-1, 11-2, still a bit of juice in that. But yeah, I thought he was one of the likeliest winners of the race, to be honest, in a race where not many look overly well handicapped. Like
Quentin loves. Yes, I know what you like there. Quentin loves the territories angle as the ground softening up. And this horse has been racing on roads all year, and Quentin's thinking the horse is bored now of good to firm. It wants a bit of dig underfoot and well drawn for the cock watchers. So yeah, no, can't knock that, Quentin, at all. So
know me too well.
That nearly made the list for Quentin's bets. Now we've got some really uninteresting races. The March Stakes is expertly described by John at the start of the Goodwood preview. 1-4. Who you mal? Is this a let the dog in or a let the dog out race, John?
I think the dog would jump through a fucking window if you let him into this. Even though it was shut. God, I mean, this is shite, isn't it?
I mean, for 100,000 added, I'm surprised Sadiq hasn't entered one here. You know, the fourth horse.
There's got to be a case here for saying, well, if you run something rated less than 90, however close you finish, it's not going to affect your mark. Just to pack them.
I've only just noticed. There's only 4 runners. I've only just noticed. John O'Neill. What a shrewdie John O'Neill is. Look at this. 64 rated. And he's going to pick up £5,360. I don't know what the entry... Hang on. 7 pay £1,000 to declare. I don't know what the initial entry fees were, but it's going to be a profit, it looks like, for John O'Neill. And if one of the others breaks down...
Well, if he's got a bit of sense here, he's in the one box. If he says to Conor Maxwell... You know, hard left as you get out, take 3 of the fuckers out. He's in business, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, this is it. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I've always found about Stewart's inquiries interesting is that they look at the end of the race and say like a DQ. Oh yeah, that crossed the horse, and right. If you broadside a horse in the UK, and this is the rules that you look at. Say if you broadside one out of the cupboards and absolutely make it snatch up, and you lose to it by a short edge, you will not get the race. They don't consider anything at the starts, which is quite weird. How odd is that?
If Maxwell can put an act on and strike into a couple, he's away and laughing, isn't he?
Yeah, we are clutching at straws, though. We are trying to make the show entertaining. Anyway, we'll move on. 3:35.
The speculation is about the most entertaining part of the fucking race, isn't it? Let's be fair.
To be fair, we're sort of wishing for something, something interesting to have. 3:35. Mutter Sarbek is 5-4 wrist. Favourite for the Celebration Mile. Another very disappointing field. Stormy Atlantic's very old now. Finest Sound, I don't think it's the most genuine. Escobar, 8-year-olds, just there.
Old enough to smoke.
I did think 5-4 Mutter Sarbek. His value is it, Quentin?
The race didn't appeal as one to look at. He's got he's the best horse in the race, obviously, against some moody sorts. Escobar, it's not going to play out how his handicaps play out. So
no,
it's not a race I've priced, but kind of looking at it when you put the pieces together, yes, you could probably say 5-4 is a shade overs. Yes,
it's quite fair. I mean, you just look at it second to Lights On, Alcohol Free in third, Ross Collin in fourth. Your big bet, Ross Collin. McGallen, Modern News in the Diomed. Obviously already beat Escobar. Epsom.
Should he own a couple of these?
Sorry, John?
Should he own a couple of these, though?
I wouldn't. That's the problem.
I kind of wondered if he just fannied it a bit against Lights On, and I sort of... Yeah, it's probably no disgrace going down ahead to Chindit in the context of this race, but I was thinking he fannied it there as well.
I thought he did fanny it a bit against Chindit, but then look, Mayo Brom.
Do you want to row for Charlie Hill's horse at 5-4?
No, never, absolutely never. You need big prices when you're backing Charlie. You see, like Cardem, I backed in the King George at Goodwood. And that's because basically it was a price. Like you said, Charlie's not a stable I want to take 5-4 about, but it just all adds up to backing it. I always try and get him beat, but I don't know what with.
Well, I wouldn't take 5-4 about Charlie's first lot coming out on a morning, so.
No, indeed. Right. So, I mean, we've sort of reached the end of our television coverage. There's not really a lot to talk about in terms of the racing, but we've definitely come up with some good klaxons. What I would say tomorrow, folks, is if you get time, just I don't know why that's so funny, but it is. If you get time,
our listeners are all pushed for time.
I don't know. Look, busy lives,
God to do. Ever.
Like taking the kids on the waltzer or something. I don't know.
Most of them aren't even allowed access to the kids.
Big wheel and that. They're picking at cars with fish and chips, candy floss, all that. No time. But I mean, no, Windsor tomorrow. The thing is, Windsor's card. If you look at, if I'm losing.
You should plug something there, or what?
No. The Windsor Hill man. It's not that bad a card. But yeah, I thought, yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're at the Lurkle. You're not bothered. You took the mucky one to Lurkle. So that's it. We'll get the story on that on Sunday. In fact, that's a good situation to end the show. So anyway, look, I hope you've enjoyed this show. Talking shit, Anna. By the way, for the producers cracked up. The producer's gone. I'm talking shit. But listen, the Irish tomorrow have got a good card also. They've got the group, a couple of three group threes, and the Irish Cambridge tomorrow. So there's lots of things to look at other than the ITV Racing rubbish that they've put on, really. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one, like we did. And we're back on Sunday with more complete rubbish. Me, John, and Chris discussing the week's affairs.
Possible special guest.
Oh, possible special guest Sunday. Yeah. So that's something to look forward to. Better than this show. That's still not totally shit. Have a good one. Bye for now.